Cable and Deadpool, the comic book, was great. So how's the movie? NERDSoul. Late Ill Kid at OneYoungsta, holding it down, breathe that StreetGeek and NERDSoul. What is up, my people, today? Oh yeah, we coming with another wonderful episode of Movie Reviews, and we're talking about the awesome follow-up to, of course, the first film with the titular character, Deadpool. And first, I want to give a big shout out because we have a cool episode today. We got a special guest coming up later. Also want to give a shout out to Reynolds himself, who liked my tweet where Mark B. Donica and I are talking about how much fun we had in this film. And I'm sure you guys are interested because you clicked that link. So let's ask a couple questions. And the first question is it funny? Yes. If you like the first movie, if you love that humor, it is back in spades. This movie, it uses humor in such just a magnificent way. It's of course, the humor is dirty and it's rated R humor, but it is funny. You stay laughing all the way through, from belly laughs to like the little giggly laughs. And then they're like, ooh, that's kind of messed up and wrong, but I still think it's a little funny kind of laughs. And it just ties in very well to kind of the character building of Deadpool and the kind of person he is, how he deals with life, how he maneuvers his relationships. And yes, the answer is just super yes, it is funny. Another question that I figure we should answer in here is, well, is it well written? The answer there is another yes. I gotta give it to just beyond the jokes. The interactions seemed like normal ways people would either respond to Deadpool or Deadpool would respond to them. The kind of like the engagements seem natural. And I mean, of course, where Deadpool, resides, the movie is crazy. It's balls to the wall, literally. But, it seems natural and normal. It seems like this is a very good progression from the first film. And even the way they kind of maneuver through the storyline, it keeps it fun and light while also letting these characters grow a little bit. So I love how we interact with the characters, how they interact with each other. So I gotta say, yeah, the writing, it's on point. Which leads us to, of course, how's the direction? Because remember, they changed directors, and a lot of people, there might have been a little dust kicked up about the direction and how it might have been. And people are wondering, well, how's it directed, man? Is it sluggish? What's the pacing? Is it up and down? Is it a roller coaster? Is it plotting? What's the deal? And this movie keeps you moving. The way the cinematography is handled, the way the shots are pulled off, the lighting, and also just the pacing of the action and the comedy and kind of like the gripping moments themselves keep you moving, keep you kind of at a steady pace where you don't feel like you're rushing through things and you don't get to learn stuff, and also where you don't feel like I'm bored and what's going on. They just have a good job of kind of handling who Deadpool is and who he is to other people. There are a couple of parts in the movie that, kind of like might hang around too long, but you'll see that they hang around too long to come right back to serve you up proper. So I have to give some love to the direction because I was one of those people that was wondering if maybe kind of some of the luster of Deadpool may have fell, from the first film since it wasn't the same direction. But I feel that this one is definitely a solid follow-up. Now, before we get to the special guest and all that cool stuff that we got going on, first, Hildebrand gonna help us pay them bills. Oh yeah, check that link below. Hats, shirts, hoodies, all that jazz. And once you find something you like, of course, cop it. So the last question is really, what that action about? And this movie has blood, bullets, swords, explosions. If you thought the first movie had action, this one, it ratchets it up. But it doesn't ratchet up in a way where it's like, we're just gonna show you how much money we have. It keeps it moving and it keeps this action meaningful. Even if the meaning is to just make you laugh, there is some funny action in here. There's some serious stuff in here. There's some very showy moments too, but they always work in the kind of world that Deadpool has built. You know, like this kind of part of the cinematic franchise that, you know, Fox has with the X-Men and all that stuff. You know, Deadpool's little corner, just his world, when you get in his world, like, you know how you know some people and it seems like there's just a tornado following them. Well, Deadpool has a tornado of just comedy, bullets and blood, and just funny random jokes following him. And the action here, from the choreography to the way it's cut, the way it's displayed, it's a marvel to see. And the reason you know, pun intended, but the way they pull it off is so cool, especially coming off of something like Avengers Infinity War. To see something that's this, you know, this specific to one character still be so showy and so enjoyable, I gotta give it some love for that too. Now, I'm gonna come back with my score in just a moment because you know I got to give it some love on the star rating. But first, of course, we're gonna check in with my boy, Mark B. Deasy.
What's up, NERDSoul viewers? This is Mark B. Donica. Thank you very much, Michael, for letting me join you on the first of hopefully many screenings with NERDSoul. Deadpool 2, wow. It was a lot. It was a very different glass of water than Avengers Infinity War was, but I think that there was enough comic book goodness in it to really enjoy. Similar things that I never thought I would see on screen were happening right in front of me. The violence is just as hardcore as it was in the first movie. The soundtrack, killer. There were a lot of callbacks to jokes and joke types from the first movie, and there were no character reintroductions, so I'd say that way it does feel like a legit sequel where, oh, I remember that character from the first movie, I remember that character from the second movie, and it's not like we're meeting these characters all over again. I like the themes. It was a solid watch and definitely one that I'm going to see again in the theaters, and I highly recommend everybody else does as well, but that's the most I could say right now, because it's a mile a minute, a laugh a minute, a dismemberment a minute, and a lot of solid Ryan Reynolds comedy. Thanks again to Michael for letting me join you for this screening, and thank you to the fine folks at NERDSoul. Love you. Check you next time. Peace.
Word up. I got to give a shout out to Mark B. Donica. Thanks so much for hitting me off with some love and hit me off with your score. I don't even know the score right now as of taping because I'm keeping it a secret to myself. All right. But here is how I feel about the film. With the action, with the first film being so successful that me thinking that it wasn't going to be able to kind of reach that. Also, the heart that's in this film, there's a lot of like genuine good feelings in this movie, which is weird considering the package that it's wrapped in. But just like in the first film, they sneak some heart in there on you. And it's like, wow, you know what? These characters have learned something. So when you have the action that's crazy, you have the writing that's just funny, the comedy is straight still there, and some ill shots of just action sequences, and just a well-crafted film when, you know, Deadpool is a character that could easily be done horribly. I mean, easily. I'm gonna go in and give this joint a straight up solid 4 stars. Because is it funny? Yes. Is it well written? Yes. Is it directed well? Do you feel bored during it? No, not at all. It is directed straight on point. And is the action there? Yes, it is. Should you see this in the theater? Yep. I can't wait to see it again because Deadpool is just, it's fun and funny, and it's something that's really good to kind of see, get the summer kicked off. I know they're considering, you know, Marvel the kickoff, but it's April, man. To me, that's not summer yet, man. You gotta just, it just don't really count to me yet. But I love this entry. It's a great, solid follow-up, and can't wait to see what you think. So holla at me, I'm gonna holla at you. Down in them comments, let's talk about Deadpool. If you've seen it, of course, make sure you put spoiler before your comment because this is spoiler free. But before I bounce, I want to say thanks to Ryan Reynolds for liking the tweet. Thanks for that love. Thanks for Mark B. Donica for rolling with a player. And before I bounce, I'm going to tell you guys to hit up ThatNERDSoul.com. That's right. Check me out right there. My videos for oldest, newest, latest, greatest, and all that. Then hit up shop.thatnerdsoul.com and pick yourself up a t-shirt, player. Don't forget to get one for them playettes. Then come back here, like, comment, subscribe, and share that Nerd Soul. That's right. There's no better way that I can show people that you like what you are watching. So, LA, what up? VA, what up? RVA, you got my heart. And please be good to yourselves. Please be good to each other. And remember, there's always time for chimichangas. Peace.